Welcome, welcome, family. Um, I don't know if we getting the notifications out today. Welcome, family. I don't know if they giving the notifications out for us today, but uh, but yeah, but we okay, yeah, yeah, but we are live, and I am here with Abdi. He's a small businessman. He's one of the owner of Hassan Times. That is one of the highly respected newspapers in the Somalian community. He's a very professional man. He has a degree from Mankato State, and he's here, he's here to help, bridge the gap between the communities, and he here because he want his people and he want his community to be able to compete on a global market. And most people who know me, they know, that's one thing that I talk about a lot is that, I want, us to be able to compete on a global market. And so he's also a member of the 5,000 Lead, and we talk back and forth, and we do business as well. And so today, things are finna start looking up, and things are finna start rolling. And I just want, to let, our community know that, it's time to start, do less talking and more movement. Now, I am one of the people in the community. I put myself in a position where, I am, I'm an international person. And so I get along with a lot of international people, um, and um, and so I wanted to bring that to the table, and I have a couple questions for him as well, and he's going to talk to his community as well, and we're going to bridge the gap. So, Abdi, you wanna start?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Tay. I know Tay for many years, and he's a good friend of mine, and he's a business owner like I do. I'm a business owner who also reside here in States and especially live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I got to know him many years since we've been doing business. We came across that we have to came up with the idea to build this kind of television network so we can get to our people minds and see what we can do to help them. And I decided to jump right away when I find out this kind of opportunity because our community need to be here and hear their concern, and also our community want to be part of the American dream and compete the jobs and innovations and whatever is going in the market. So we decided to be part of the program, and I'm glad I have a T and many other groups who are willing to work with us, and I'm thanking him for that.
Okay, so you know, yeah, so like I say, he's a very professional person, and so am I. I know I get kind of goofy sometimes, but I'm actually, a very professional person, naturally. And so we come together for our Universal Media Network because they are going to be having their own television station and their own station, 24-hour news station, on our network. And so they will be able to have 24 hours, nothing but their people as well. And so I just had a couple questions for him, and if anybody have any questions for him, um, because we want to compete on a world scale. We want to be global. We don't just want to be domestic and just America. We want to be global. And so, being able, it's a big deal for us, to being able to connect with some people, you know, uh, you know, from a strong background in Africa. We know, in Africa, you guys keep your language going. You don't speak any French or anything like that. Do you speak French or any of those languages? Any of those European languages?
No, I don't.
Okay, yeah. So you guys able to keep your languages and things like that. And so we definitely look up to that as well. Um and so I just, I had a couple questions, but if you wanted to ask some questions and you want to get up to concerns, because first off, we want to know, what do you guys have in Somalia that can interest us? What do you guys have that we be able to interest us? And I'm representing for the 5,000 League. Also, uh, Indigenous People of America. Um, you know, um, whatever you want to call it. But I want to know, what can you guys, interest us? What do you have there in Somalia that might interest us, or what can we provide for y'all? Uh, for the Somali community, um, to be able to compete. You know.
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wanted to know what can you guys offer to our people? Like over there in Somalia, what do you guys have that we would be interested in? What are the benefits for us? Because we have this idea that most of us who's born in America, we have this idea that Africa is full of gold and full of diamonds. You just walk down the street and there's like diamonds, and we have we have this fantasy, you know um imagination of what Africa's like. And when we do go there, most likely we're just touring, so most likely we go to the best places. And we just want to know what you know do you guys offer, for us and Americans as an indigenous people. What do you guys offer us? In return, I will be able to answer the question back as well.
Thank you very much. That's a good question. And let me clear something. When you say indigenous people, that you're talking about the Black Americans. You're not talking about the Indian Americans, right?
Right, right. When I say indigenous people, I'm talking about the people that been here for thousands of years. We're not talking about native people. We're not talking about the Native American people. I do consider them as my people as well, but it's very confusing because through Hollywood and through stories, those are been the face of the Indian. Those are the face of the indigenous people. But um, from our traditions, our research, um, and also and information in family history, we go back thousands of years before them. But that's neither here or there, because we're not here to debate uh, races, because they're our brothers and sisters as well. So it really doesn't matter. But so I'm talking about, for the indigenous people, the people that are aware of that. Um, that's what I mean by the indigenous people, not the native, not the people we consider Native Americans today.
Thank you very much for clarifying that. I came across many years ago, a friend of mine mentioned to me that as a Black people, we've been here before the whites came to this country, and even before the Aboriginal people, Indians, came to this country. We were not brought into the slaves here. That's what he said, and I agree with him 100%. If you look at the world, any country, the continents of the world, Black people were there. Any nation, Australia, New Zealand, America, Canada, the blacks were there before even the whites, before even the original people, and I couldn't agree more 100%. Let me go back to your question. What can you offer to the Black Americans? We can offer all these things that you mentioned, gold, diamond, and everything that we have in Africa, but we can also offer something that pure and we are rich on it, which is culture. We have a very diverse culture in Africa. And when I'm saying Africa, Africa is a big continent and it has 54 nations. So each nation has its own culture and attitude toward the others. So we can offer very unique culture and we can be part of Black Americans and African Americans who are here. And since we are the latest who arrive here, East Africans, and also the other Africans, we are willing to be part of these Black Americans, and we are proud to be here. And we would like to work with you guys and cooperate with anything that you guys need from us. The other thing that I like to mention is Tay and I and many of the groups of the Universal Media. Uh, 2 years ago, we established the version of Black, what they call a Black Amber Alert, which we call Lakeisha. And that Lakeisha app is working well, and it has more than 5,000 members so far. And what that app does is, if anything happened to the young black kids, if abduction or hit and run or anything happened, you can go to that web and click the app that says Lakeisha and report right away. So every black person in state of Minnesota, Wisconsin, South Dakota, and North Dakota will recognize right away and cut that person before even the authority. Because the first time when we established this, we talk about how they differentiate if white kids were taken from abduction or taken from their homes. Right away they react and do something, but when the black kid something to happen, it took like 5-6 hours minimum to get involved and also alert to the authority. So that's why we came up with this kind of Lakeisha app. And it's a black person or black groups invested, and black people are the one who's trying to get their kids in their hands, and it's working well. And I wanna anybody who hear this to be part of it and get contribute and also work with us. Thank you.
Yep, yep. So yeah, that. Those are some big words, and I'm gonna hold that to you. So yeah, I heard the word gold, and so and I think you said diamonds as well. So yeah, we're definitely gonna hold that to you. Um, but like there is a group of people within our culture, because our culture is very divided, and so there is a group of people, you know they consider themselves African, because they believe that they came here on the bottom of a boat, and there is some evidence, I believe, to support it. And and from a person who's actually from Africa, to see a person claim that they're African and they really don't know nothing about Africa, nothing about Somalia, Kenya, or any of the they really don't have nothing there. I want to know from Africa, like somebody's from Africa, how do you see that type of person? Like, what is that? How do you see a person like that who claim to be, or who have some, maybe, um, micro uh you know thing to do with Africa, but really has nothing to do with Africa? Like, do you understand what I mean? Like, okay, yeah. So I want to talk about that a little bit.
I think the any person who either is American or African origin or Latin American or black origin, whatever you belong to, we consider as a brothers and sisters, and they are welcome. Any nation of Africa, if you travel to Ghana, Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia, Nigeria, we welcome you, and we consider you somebody who came back to his home. And we are glad that we have as many as people who are trying to go back Africa and find those rich cultures and diversities, and how we live also as well, and how we raise our children, and what we do. Because there's a stereotype that everyone, you hear that they believe that Africa is one nation, and Africa is dying for AIDS and diseases and hunger and starvation and all that stuff. So you're not gonna find a correct answer until you go there and see how African people live, at what kind of life they have. So I encourage every Black America who hear this news to go to Africa, wherever it is, and find people in Africa and how they live and what they do. And I think you will find out in a different world, and that will help you also to navigate your, if you have a business or background, whatever it is, it will help you to boost your morale and do something good for the community.
Okay. So basically, he was saying that, for anybody around the world that have our, connection, or that's governed by what we govern. When you go over to Africa, you should be considered a brother. That doesn't mean that you need to say that you're them or not, but anybody, you would be considered as a brother. And I'm pretty sure you heard stories about slave boats and stuff like that. You heard stories about that? You have any of that in your family?
No, no,
No, you just heard it
I
through.
heard.
You just heard through the education system.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of us have, but there is lots of evidence to support it. So there is no 100% denial there. And what we like to offer, what I'm saying, we like to be able to offer innovation. But can you hold for a second? Can you hold for a second? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about that, you guys. But yeah, so we want to bring to the table innovation, and what I mean by innovation is we want to be able to bring hot, new, and cool and inventions. We want to be we want to be able to compete on a world scale. We don't want to just get gold to get it. We don't want to just get something to get it. We want to be able to compete. We want to be able to have our own computers, and that's why we have the Lakeisha Network. It's the start of our own communication system. So we want our own communication system. That's our own TV, telephone, cable, internet. We want all independence. So we want 100% independence. And so we don't want any backing by Britain or backing by England or any of that type of deal. We just want to be just straight, um, straight indigenous because you will be, indigenous to Africa. So you are an indigenous person as well, and then I will be indigenous to America. So that way I will be indigenous as well. So so you would then back me, I would back you, and so with that being said, I can bring that down to a smaller, as small as you want it, but that will be the overall of what we can offer. Um, and we currently like now we have the universal media that's going to be starting now. We have the 5,000 elite, and we're going to be we're going to be in the Somali community as well, and we're going to be the 5,000 elite is going to be there as well. So and I know you is here to represent for your people and make sure they get their fair share of jobs, get their fair share, just like everybody else. Um and let me see. So we got some people out there. Let me see who we got. We got Chief Holiday first in the building. We got N Jones. We got Copper Hot Step out there. We got Sean out there. We got um uh Black Lion Media out there. We got Miss Mohawk. Balance 444. I've been looking for you. Make sure you give me a call. Also, Black Indian. I'm gonna call you a little bit later if you're out there. We got the Ohio player, Laney Lawrence from England, England, Britain. Sorry if I got the name wrong, but one of those out there. And Seeker of Truth. How you doing, Seeker of Truth? So these are some of the people that we have in the community that's watching us right now. We got nonetheless out there. Who else we got out there? Reginald Green's in the building. Alton Warren in the building. Aboriginal. Uh, is that Aboriginal Palmer in the building? Struggle Zone. What's up, Struggle Zone? How you doing? Um, yeah, and so I just want to give a shout out to the people that's watching because we have about 30 people watching us right now. And so yeah, so I just want to introduce myself to your community. You already know, everybody already know me through my sister. Everybody already know me through my sister, but that has nothing to do with me. I'm my own person. I do me. But I know you know her, but I am Tyron Vital. I'm one of the founding members of the 5,000 Elite. um, and I come to the Somalian community to you know um, because we want to be able to compete on a world scale, and so I come to you and your community to see if you guys are interested, and that's what we're here for, and you're interested, and so hey, I mean let's get it going, let's get it cracking. So but if you have any questions, anything you want to say to me, um, This,
The reason we're doing this kind of program is to build a bridge our people to understand one another, and also to build the culture that they can work with one another, because there's there's one people, even those who were here before, even whites and those African Americans who came as slaves, the ships, and the people who came voluntarily with the African people who just recently moved to America. All these people, they have a common things that unite us, because we all black, we are all African, we are American, but we have a one one system of common ground, and we were trying to build the bridge of the community to work one another, to help each other, to educate our kids that even though we have a different beliefs, even though we belong to different nations, even though we have a different kind of understanding, still we can do common good for the community, and let's be united and work together. So my question to you, Tay, is what are you gonna say with the Somali community who make their home in Minnesota and surrounding states like Iowa, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska? What you gonna tell them, and give us any kind of suggestions how they can integrate their communities and work with the Black community in America here?
okay. Well, the first thing, the black community or our community, we're very diverse. Now, in some circles, which is my circles, by using the word black, that can be offensive because my jacket is black, but my skin would be brown, and so your skin is brown. You're not actually black, and so we're very different, even though we all it's hard to tell, and so um and that's something that I myself I I'm still I'm still in the midst of learning how different we are because some of the stuff that I've been introduced to, I'm still confused because um I don't get some of our culture, because we're very divided. So um so when you're dealing with our culture, you have to have like you have to deal it with caution, because if you say the wrong word to certain groups, they can be offensive. Like if you call somebody black, there's a group out there which will say, hey, no, I'm not black. And then you have some groups, you know they would like they would accept it. So um it's very tricky when you're dealing with our community. But you always have to understand is that one of the rules that we go by, we have this rule that nobody knows called I didn't hurt anybody. And so we feel like as long as we don't hurt nobody, we feel like we can do it. You know, like jaywalking, well, I didn't hurt nobody. You know what I mean? Um, you know, and and that's one of the things in our culture that only we know we do. We know we have that. But when we know we're right, leave us alone. You see what I'm saying? Like if I go outside and I see you hitting your wife and or something like that, and you know you're wrong, if you try to confront me and I know I'm right, that can be very dangerous for another community to come in when they know they're wrong. You understand what I mean? So that's one thing you definitely have to take in consideration. Anytime you're caught wrong and a so-called quote unquote African American come up to confront you, or an indigenous person come to confront you, just be wrong. You know what I mean? Just say, okay, this was wrong, and keep it moving. Um, and also, when you catch us doing wrong, you know, um, each is on. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. Because if you catch me doing something wrong, chances are I'm gonna cower away because I know I was wrong, sir. I have no business doing that. I'm gonna cower away. But you do have those some people, they might be like, they might want to confront you. Um uh Also, dealing with our community, um we like you have some people, they believe that they come from Africa. And I know it has to be kind of difficult for an African person to encounter one of those people. Um and I know some of you guys feel like no, you're not, man, like you're not one of me. And some of you guys feel like, because of what governs us, and our version of melanin, or whatever you want to call it. You guys can easily say that's my brother. You can say that, but saying that and showing that is different. You see what I'm saying? So you can say all day, this is my brother and we're going to help, but you have to be able to show that as well. So we are show me people. So um we're not always going to take your words, because we're used to smooth talking guys coming in our community asking us for money. We're used to smooth talking guys, um, saying all the perfect answers and always have something perfect to say. um and that's one thing I struggle with, because even a lot of my people that I deal with, a lot of them always have something. Oh man, I don't like when you do this. Ty, when you do that, I don't like this. They always have something they don't like about me. And see, I don't know if they understand, like, that's the type of person you want to deal with. You know what I mean? Because if I come around, because I know if I want to be perfect and I want all to give all the perfect answers, I can do it. Anytime somebody asks me a question, I can give you a perfect answer. But I'm not cut like that. I'm gonna give it to you straight up, straight how I feel, and you might like some and you might not. But at the end of the day, it's honest. You see what I'm saying? And so we're used to people coming in our community telling us all the right things and everything always perfect about them. And and at the end of the day, they don't do what they say. So when you're dealing with our community, talk is cheap. You know what I mean? Like, talk is like what you say. It it, it, it holds it holds a little bit of weight. um and for the younger generation, like, I don't know about the younger generation, but many of us feel like we are victims, and we cannot stand anybody treating us unfair. It can be very dangerous for an outside culture to come to America and literally treat us unfair. It can be very dangerous, um, because we've been in a situation where unfair treatment, um, unfair treatment is something we look for. So when we go into your store, we're looking to be treated unfair. So we're looking for things. And if you give an extra eye on us, and look twice, and you looked over there once, we would calculate that and be like, why you look over here twice? You know what I'm saying? You ain't look at the white boy twice. So we're very, some of us are confrontive, but we hate unfairness. um but but when you're dealing with our community on a business level, now, um on a business level, you have to draw your lines in the sand. You have to know exactly what you want. When you're dealing with me, you need to know exactly what you want. If you know exactly what you want, it's easier for me to give it to you. But if you give some broad statement like, "Oh, I just want, I just want some things," chances are I'm gonna, prolong you. It's gonna take a long time. Um, I'm not gonna be able to fulfill that. But if you have the more details you have when you're dealing with us in business, the more likely we willing to do it, get it done for you.
Thank you very much for the long statement. I would like to thank you for coming here today. And I would like to mention one thing. When Ty first walked into my door, I was so upset because of his hat. The baseball cap that he's wearing, it looks like the one Donald Trump invented, which says we're going to make America good again. So I was so suspicious to sit down with him and talk about any issue while he's wearing the hat. But finally, he mentioned to me that it wasn't same one that Donald Trump and the other guy with his name, the singer, uh, that Kanye West are wearing. So then we started to
No, no,
discuss.
this
This
is
is totally different. That it's Beijing University. It's from China.
Peking, yeah, Peking
Yeah,
University.
Peking
Peking
University.
University. Yeah.
So I would like to thank Ty for the great work that he's doing to community and his group also. They deserve to be recognized because I was so nervous when I put my contribution to Lakeisha. I thought that it won't be possible to come up with similar to Amber Alert. And after 6 months, when they built the app, it was up and running. And I tested myself, and I have the app on my phone in case anything happened to my kids. And what's good about it is they will also know the location where the kid is at that moment and what they're doing. And if you have some kind of ground rules and the kid tell you that I'm that place and you find out that he's different location, then you can tell him, hey, what you're telling me is not right. I know where you're at and I don't know what you're doing there. So get back to the right place that you're supposed to be. So I would like to thank him and thank you for coming here today. And hopefully in the future we're gonna be more involved with the communities and do the good work. And thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Thank you as well. Also if you want to address your community as well, so we can, we can take this and put it on. If you want to send the people to your website, it's Hassan Times. Um, Hassan, you told me that Hassan was a river in Somalia, like a Kirby River. I did look up some information on it, and Hassan Times, and so we're going to be in Hassan Times. Hassan Times, also, the 5,000 elite is going to be in the in the Somalian community, and so those people who still feel that they just don't want it and they just don't believe it and it's just something wrong or I haven't said anything perfect enough for you. I'm gonna tell you straight up, you know what I'm saying? I'm an international guy. I'm not gonna sit around and I'm not gonna wait around for anybody to, listen to some perfect word or some perfect line because you're never gonna hear it. Um 90 times of the times when I go on air, there's going to be some stuff I say that you like. There's going to be some stuff I say that you don't like. But what's very important is what I do. That is the most important. And right now, I've been working with the Somali community. And, if you go to the 5,000 League website, the site is a little bit different and it's going to be getting a little more updated as well. We have a little blog section. Um, we have, there is no monthly fees because I hear a lot of people say monthly fees. There's no monthly fees and anything like that. And so now we're going to be, activating the Somali community as well, and like we said, they're gonna have their own TV show on our network, and you guys got YouTube. Well, I know you guys got internet in Somalia as well. Um, so do you guys make your own devices?
Devices, no.
You don't make your own devices. Okay, so a lot of people know me for a lot of people know I got the Global Girls Inc. I deal with the Chinese. I have a Chinese organization. um and a lot of people are a little skeptical and they just feel like we are very political people, and we are very very like super political, like very political. If It don't matter what you're doing good in our community. If you say one thing out of political line, that can, that can backfire. But yeah, if you want to address your community, let them know that we're being their community, and we're going to be bridging the gap. Um, I believe, I believe I told you about the towers that we're reaching to get in Nashville, Tennessee. That's going to be another major move. I told you about the toilet paper company that we're going to be setting there as well. And a lot of other stuff. So you should be up. You are already up to date. Did you have your membership card already? Did you? Okay, so you have your membership card. Okay, so um, yeah. So if you want to address your community as well, let them know we're here, and we got a lot to do, and we're ready to step up. And if any, you know, the more professional people that comes out, the more we can get done. So peace to the chat. We got Jaguar Omac. We ready to go. Yep.
Thank you very much. Addressing to the community is going to be a different time because we're going to have a broader discussion on these issues, and there's a lot of investment coming in the business wise, and also we trying to do construction in back home in Somalia, and there will be a Chinese companies who are assembling the construction and working on that. So hopefully we're gonna have a discussion bigger than this. So it's gonna be next time that we address this kind of 500 elite and the business that we are up to launch.
Okay, you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Do anybody got any questions in the chat room? Y'all, this is how it goes. And I know a lot of people, a lot of people. Oh yeah, I got another question. Do you know what? It's just kind of a weird question, but do you know what a comedic priest is?
No, I don't.
A comedic priest.
No, I don't. What is that?
Okay. Um, it's like a priest from ancient Egypt.
No, because like I said, Africa is a big continent, and Egypt is one of the nations in Africa, and totally different.
Oh, okay. Well, well, maybe you can learn some stuff because I've been learning. Yeah. So I guess we got a lot of learning to do. Um, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. Anybody got any questions? We got Samal Abdul say Somalian women is beautiful. Who else we got? We got struggles on ourselves. He mentioned Chinese people building on their land, colonized people. Um, well, they got hired to. They got hired to build on their land. So that's like, when you have a garden or somebody come and cut your grass, they got hired to cut your grass. Um, let me see who else we got. Showing the natural resources in America. Okay, yeah, we have natural resources as well. Um, but yeah, this is not. Yeah, yeah. Anybody got any questions for me or for Abdi before we go? Um, yeah, because we both. Let's see. Somebody said I only trust my own people. Well, that's probably your downfall right there. Thinking somebody um yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is his people is, but his name's Albert Rothstein. I only trust my own people. I don't know what is your people, because if you're African American, then he would be African American too. If you're indigenous, then he would be indigenous too, and I would be indigenous too. So like, who is your people? Like, you got like some aliens or something, or like, what are your people? But this is the thing. Um, your yeah, you so um, each person have their own personality. So within my people, there's people I trust and people I don't. Outside my people, there's people I trust and people I don't. Um, I use an Aboriginal. So he's an Aboriginal. I'm an Aboriginal. So let's build. Let's build. You know what I'm saying? Let's build. You're not African? Okay, okay. Well, he's an Aboriginal too. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna wrap this up. And I just want to say peace to the chat, man. We out here, we're working. We're gonna be working a lot more in the background. We're gonna step it up. As y'all know that we have a lot to do. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Yeah. You got something you want to say before we get out?
No, thank you very much. I would like to conclude this, and we're gonna have a more segment coming every Sunday, and possibly we're gonna be broadcasting. Thank you very much.